Welcome back to the Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Decaying with the Boys. Same familiar cast of characters here, bringing another action-packed episode. Real quick question. Do you like beer? If you're listening to us, it's a pretty safe assumption that you do. And you probably like beer gear. And if that's true, you might not know where to get it. And that's where First Sip Brew Box comes in. First Sip Brew Box is a monthly subscription swag box that brings you some of the coolest gear, from shirts to glassware to food to hangover cures and much, much more. First Sip Brew Box is teaming up with Necromancer Brewing, Trace Brewing, and the Pittsburgh Brewery Diversity Council to bring us all a little treat in the near future, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. You can follow First Sip Brew Box on all social media by searching out their name, or you can get your subscription started by heading over to firstsipbrewbox.com and tell them the boys sent you. So it's another wonderful evening here in southwestern Pennsylvania. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I think that we have some breaking news that New Jack of ECW fame has passed away from an apparent heart attack at 58 years old.
Crazy, too.
If you look at the miles on his body, that dude was 90. I mean, you don't get to jump.
For sure.
Yeah, you're jumping off of balconies, through tables, through people, through anybody. And he almost killed a guy, right? That Dark Side of the Ring episode. He cut some dude's face up where the fat guy, mass transit.
Yeah. He cut up mass transit pretty bad. He beat up Gypsy Joe, who was like an 80-year-old man. He beat him within an inch of his life in a match. And he almost killed Vic Grimes in a match. He threw Vic Grimes through the off the scaffold through all those tables.
Oh yeah,
which is the famous clip. Yeah,
I was ready to say, for every ECW episode that came on Saturday nights at 2:00 in the morning, that was like the premiere. Like when they go wow, wow, and you see Vic just go through all those tables, man. It was disgusting.
He was dangerous.
I mean, it's crazy. This is the guy that would swan dive off the Empire State Building just to get a pop.
Right.
Yes. And also would not take shit from anybody. And if you were a rookie in the back trying to ask him if you could get some offense in, you get mass transited. You just get cut up. He would bring past tense. He would bring a trash can full of objects to smash over your head repeatedly until you actually had to give up and it wasn't even part of kayfabe. Yeah. So rest in peace, New Jack. I loved your career, man. You were a crazy dude and you're gone too early, or maybe not. I'm not sure, but
never boring to watch.
Yeah. Rest easy. And hopefully you hit God in the head with a spike or something to show him who's boss. So boys, I'm putting my winning streak on the line here. Because speaking of wrestling, I have to bring back in the dreaded Bets of Doom. Thank you. Because on Sunday, May 16th,
I would like to point out real quick, what winning streak?
You haven't even won.
You haven't won shit. You just didn't lose.
Yeah, that's winning.
He's putting his not losing streak on the line.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have the same winning streak then.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
Listen, there's three of us. If you don't lose, you win.
Okay, I'm down with that. I was just clarifying. I'm down with that.
So thank you for the clarification. My winning streak is on the line.
His not losing streak.
His silver medal streak.
My silver medal
streak of one,
not bronze medal in a race of 3, is on the line this Sunday, May 16th. When the backlash of one of probably the worst WrestleMania cards we've seen in the modern era takes place. I would like to say that, how badly WrestleMania went, we should know what happens, but that's not always the case. So betting on it becomes a little more fun because we don't really know how creative is going to work with this. So Josh, let us know what's happening on the WrestleMania Backlash match card.
So excited for this one, guys. So I was actually up in the air between UFC 262 and this, but I looked back at the Bets of Doom that we've done in the past, and I noticed that every UFC fight I tend to lose. So Let's do some Backlash here, huh?
Yeah, I figured this would be more fun too, because like I think the 262 card is kind of jacked up. Like everyone's pulling out, and the fights aren't as strong as they once were.
The card's not as packed. I think the main event is what, Chandler versus Olivier.
Yeah, for the title.
Oh, is that for the title?
Yeah,
okay.
for the title that could be vacated.
Yeah, gotcha. But anyway, we're not talking UFC 260.
Already put my money on that. I'm winning big.
We are talking Backlash of, like Matt said, the worst WrestleMania in probably the history of WrestleMania.
I wouldn't go that far. I would say just in the modern, there was some real stinkers back in the 90s.
Watch yourself some WrestleMania.
I'm putting it in the bottom 10 for sure.
Oh, definitely in the bottom 10 for sure.
Maybe bottom 5.
Yeah, you know what? I could agree with that. Bottom 5 for sure.
So what we'll do is we'll kick it off with what should be the opening match here. And we're going to have Damian Priest versus The Miz in a lumberjack match. In the past, lumberjack matches really haven't been hitting as well lately because you split the brands and you only get like 6 people around the ring.
The Jobber Squad.
Yeah, back in like the Attitude Era, you would have the entire back locker room sitting around on the outside. You couldn't see a gap to run through.
Yeah. Also, I think that this little rivalry here has been done to death already, and I think that the lumberjack match is probably the last bit you're going to see here between the whole Damian Priest versus The Miz versus John Morrison.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. If it goes on beyond this, then it's just like hitting a dead horse, hoping that it shits out money. Because I just don't think it'll go. If it goes past this, it's not going to work anymore. Damian Priest is already over, so put him up something else. Like the Intercontinental title is probably something he can start getting in the mix for, I think.
Yes, but however, we know how creative is.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
To kick this off, what if The Miz takes it just so they can prolong this?
Which isn't far-fetched.
It's not. So that's why I'm locking in with The Miz.
Okay, that's a bold choice. I think with this match, there's a lot of outside interference that's going to happen, just like with any other lumberjack match. But I think that there's, of course it's kayfabe, but I think there's a locker room, quote unquote, hate for The Miz. And I think that barring something insanely crazy, I think Damian Priest has to win this match, because if you bury him at this point, then you've completely ruined the build up to this match. But we've seen that doesn't matter to them very much. But I'm going to take Damian Priest in this one, and hopefully they stick with it, because if they don't, that's a hole to dig out of that I don't know if they can.
Yeah, I have to agree with Matt. Like, this guy's getting the push right now, and this is not the time to kill it. This isn't the time to quench it or even stutter it. So I'm going with Damian Priest. That being said, there's a huge push for The Miz to play Johnny Cage in the next Mortal Kombat movie, and I'm all behind that.
Yeah, I would sign up for that every day.
Miz for Johnny Cage, but Damian Priest for the lumberjack match.
Yeah.
See, my mind is telling me that you guys are right, but I'm trying to take an early advantage.
I'm following my heart.
So
I'm trying to follow what I think is right. I think that's the hard part too. I want that to be right, because that's what it should be.
If I was booking it, if it was Adam McMahon.
Yeah, so you do the opposite of what I would book.
Yeah.
Usually that'll turn out right. So next on the docket, we got the tag team championship. Surprisingly, there's a lot of championships on the line in this card.
Yeah.
It's WrestleMania Backlash.
You got
or the way they're saying it now, it's like, it's WrestleMania Backlash.
What are you talking about?
You got the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode versus father-son tag team, Rey and Dominic Mysterio. So I'll let one of you two kick it off.
First and foremost, cool match. I like it. I like Rey Mysterio. I always have. But the problem here is this is such a toss-up, because the WWE does not give a wild shit about tag team wrestling. So this could literally go any way. there's not a wrong way to pick this because they could keep the belts on Ziggler and Rude and not care, despite the fact that they should drop them to Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. But I think at this point, they haven't done much to push Rey and Dominic. So I think it's going to stick with Ziggler and Rude. They're going to do some heel shit. And you're going to see a super kick from Team Ziggler, and he's going to take it. I mean, Ziggler is the best jobber that should not be a jobber in the WWE. And I wish he would get a better push than he does, but he's going to be disrespected outside tag team wrestling. So he's going to keep that belt, at least till the next pay-per-view when they do a rematch, and they'll drop it then to the Mysterios. But this time around, I think it's Ziggler and Rude who are going to take the championships back.
I 100% disagree with you. I am taking Rey and Dominic Mysterio. I think Vince McMahon's cold heart has thawed out. I think he's going to make history with the first father and son tag team champions at WrestleMania Backlash. And
question mark?
Yeah, I think Rey and Dominic are gonna win it for the history books. And I think Dominic's very strong for how young he is. I think he's a very strong performer. So
let me go back to the statement I made there too. I hope that the Mysterios win. I do hope that.
If they win, I do hope that Dominic carries Rey around in his arms like a baby celebrating. He is so much bigger than his father.
He is, man. Even his daughter's bigger than him. Like Rey's the smallest person in his family.
Yeah.
So I'll admit I'm a Ziggler fan. I met him. Shit, at this point it was 8-9 years ago
when he was successful.
When I was in the Navy, stationed out in San Diego, he came on a USO tour and came to our base and came to my hangar, and we got to walk around and meet him. It was him, Mark Henry, Randy Orton.
Ooh, sounds like a real Thunder from Down Under tour for the Navy.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
So when I got up to Ziggler, I shook his hand and he's like, "So do you want to ask anything?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah. What was it like breaking into the industry as a fucking male cheerleader?" And he looked at me. He's like, "Do you want my real answer or the TV answer?" And I was like, "Why not both?" He's like, "Well, the TV answer is I'm just happy to be here and where I'm at. Doesn't matter where I started. It's about where I'm at now." And he's like, "And the real answer, it fucking sucked." So right then and there, I started respecting him because he told me how he really felt.
Can I just say, though, that the Spirit Squad was actually a lot of fun because they were so easy to hate. It was just 9 guys that you just wish would just get into a bus accident and it just never happened. But I hated them so much as a kid. And, but you could see like a couple of them had some legitimate skill. Ziggler being one of them. I mean, he did most of like the legitimate wrestling.
Yeah,
I see where he got hated, but
oh yeah. But all that being said, I'm agreeing with Adam here that I think they're going to play on the history. I like the push that they keep trying to give to Dominic. But they're not sure if they want to do it. I think this is the right way to do it. Let them kind of ride on the coattails of Rey throughout the first half of the match, and then Dominic is the one that actually gets the pin to secure the belts.
You know how I think it's really going to happen? Even though I picked Ziggler and Rude, what's going to happen here is that Ziggler and Rude are going to corner Rey Mysterio for 3/4 of this match, and Dominic Mysterio is going to come out and throw crazy offense, and then Rey is going to finish it off with a stylistic like 619 or something like that. Yeah, they're probably going to win. I'm just trying to think like old money bags, and
and I don't disagree with you, Matt. Now that the picks are made, I'll tell you I'm picking the Mysterios because I think Rey is one blown ACL away from never getting in the ring again. So they got to do it as soon as possible.
That was my thing. He's probably on his last leg. He's on his Daniel Bryan tour.
Yeah, and I don't know when they're ever gonna like get a father son in there.
Yeah.
Usually the second generation stars lately have been crap.
Oh yeah.
So moving up the card, this is where we hit all those different championship matches. They could happen in any order, but the order we're predicting here is the next one's going to be the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. Now, I do want to point out that I believe all three of us called this at the WrestleMania when Cesaro beat Seth Rollins. It's time for his push to elevate into the main event picture, and we all got that right.
Yeah, I would say we all
get a point. So we're all just starting at 0 anyway. I mean, I'll
keep that one in my pocket.
I'll take this one first, I guess, because we're just getting around. That one first last time. This one really hurts me because I love Cesaro, and I picked with my heart in the first 2 matches, but for this one, it's going to be Roman Reigns. Sorry, he's keeping that thing until at least SummerSlam. So I'm picking Roman Reigns on this one. I will be pleasantly disappointed if Cesaro wins, but I don't think that's happening.
I agree that. I think Cesaro should win it, only because that's me talking with my heart, though. Like I want to see Cesaro finally hit that level. I don't think it's happening yet. They're not going to have a big title change like that, especially after you made Reigns look so strong at WrestleMania. You're not going to immediately have him come and lose at the next pay-per-view to Cesaro, even though he is the Swedish Superman. It's just not going to happen. I think the Usos are going to play a part in this so that they can keep the storyline building, but Reigns walks away.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Usos are going to play a huge part in this, and I think that's why Roman Reigns wins. So I do choose Roman begrudgingly. I also think too it's a poor build of Cesaro. You kind of propelled him far too quickly. But I also think too, if they play this smartly, he loses dirty here, sticks around the Universal Championship scene, then takes it at SummerSlam. Whenever the Usos finally defect from the family table, which is going to happen eventually.
So my deep dive on it is I think Cesaro is going to lose here, win Money in the Bank, cash in at SummerSlam, and take it.
I would love that.
That's really my super forecast. And that'd be great booking, so they'll probably fuck it up. But
yeah, they won't do that then. Great.
You know what they're going to end up doing? They'll have Cesaro hold the Money in the Bank until WrestleMania. Reigns beats The Rock. Here comes Cesaro to take it after that.
You know what? I'm okay with that too.
You know what'll happen, man. Cesaro win the Money in the Bank, then he'll hold it for almost a year and give it to Otis for some reason.
And that'll be the only reason, even when he changes it. Here, man, you need this because.
Yeah.
So the next match we got on the docket here, we've got the triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. We've got Rhea Ripley versus Asuka versus that weasel Charlotte Flair getting herself put in the match because of Sonya Deville.
I hate this match.
Now,
can I just go? Just let me have this for a second, Josh. Because
that's fine.
I'm so fucking mad about this. Because how do you have the take home show go down with I can't even say her fucking name right. Asuka. Thank you.
Ninja check.
Yeah, Ninja check. She gets pinned clean. You saw 2/3 of the championship match. She got pinned fucking clean. Yeah. You've made her a fucking joke. She is not in the title picture. You might as well just drop her off and let it be Ripley and Flair. At least then you won't have to try to put spots in for I hate it, man. I hate it so much. I think this match is dumb. I think what you could have done is you could have just pared this down a little bit and you could have made this a great Ripley versus Flair match because you clearly don't care about other talent right now.
Tell them.
I think it's garbage. And here's what I'll say too. This is my pick. Charlotte Flair is going to fucking win. And if she doesn't, I'm going to be wildly surprised. I like Charlotte Flair. I think she's actually a pretty cool wrestler. She does some great stuff. And I think she's good for the women's division if she's used correctly, but she's oversaturated and they cannot stop going back to the well. Look at Ric Flair. He finally came out and said that he was completely uncomfortable in the storylines they gave him leading up to the whole issue that he was like, going to feud with his daughter.
What was going to be Mania. Yeah. He was against it. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So, but that's what they'll do though. They'll give the belt to Flair and she'll hold it until they try to think of some like super match. She's going to have probably Alexa Bliss. probably Alexa Bliss with Lily, whoever the hell that's going to be. But Charlotte Flair takes it because no one gives a shit about actually propelling talent in WWE. So fuck it. Flair takes it. Fuck.
Well, I'll go next because I'm basically an echo of what Matt just said. I couldn't be more upset with Asuka even being included in this match because she is definitely there for the pinfall. And I also agree Charlotte Flair is going to take it. And you're just ruining Asuka for...
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to keep Rhea strong. That's great. So they can do a rematch on whatever the next pay-per-view is. But
the match they should have right now.
Yeah.
The match they should have right now.
Actually, you shouldn't even have the match on this card and just save it for the next pay-per-view and build it. But we're gonna push it and we're gonna shove it down everybody's throat. But yeah, Charlotte. I'll also pick Charlotte Flair here.
See, I have a completely different view on it. I think that
Becky Lynch is not coming out, Josh. Becky Lynch is not coming out. She's not going to walk down the stage, and she cannot go in and make it a fatal 4-way. As much as you want that to happen,
she's going to turn the SmackDown Women's one into a.
She got eaten by the zombies when you were trying to touch her in the last episode. She's gone. She's gone,
baby. She's gone.
That's fine because my other love is in this match. I think that I agree that Asuka's kind of the side note in this, and that's sad because she was the one originally booked for the title match. Charlotte is the one that came in late. Granted, yes, it's all storyline, creative writing it, whatever. I think that Ripley takes this one and takes it over Charlotte because if you look back to WrestleMania 2 years ago, it was Flair who won the NXT championship off of Ripley. Mm-hmm. So this sets up that rubber match kind of feud.
I'm okay with that.
If there was good writing.
Yeah.
I love your
that makes sense.
I want Ripley to take it too. I want Ripley to have that belt. I think she should have that belt for a while because it's nice to have young talent carry a championship because it brings more attention. Also because Ripley is super alternative. I mean, she brings in a whole nother demographic, and she could really do wonders with that belt, but it ain't going to happen. I mean, I'll be gleefully wrong if she takes it, and I'll be very happy for her, but I would be amazed if someone that isn't named Charlotte Flair doesn't take that damn belt.
You can't give her the belt. Do the whole promo that they did with Bianca, Rhea, and I forget who the NXT champion became. Raquel, I think?
Yeah.
You can't have them all appear on NXT like the new faces, and you can't give Rhea the fucking high title of whatever brand she's on and only let her hold it for a month.
Remember when the Fiend was unstoppable and he wasn't supposed to be beat, and then he got beat by a curb stomp, and then he got beat by one RKO after almost a year of build up. Josh, please tell me again how creative can't take something away from somebody.
I understand.
But remember when Ripley had the NXT title for a month and then Charlotte Flair went down and took it?
That's what I'm saying. You can't rip it from her after a month. You can't have the same person do it twice.
Oh, they can. They're going to.
Oh, you can. When the last name's Flair, you can do it.
If that happens, Vince is getting the Bob Nutting treatment from me.
Oh, are you going to write an angry letter that he's going to wipe his ass with? But he won't wipe his ass with it because he has a fucking solid gold bidet that shoots diamonds into his butthole.
Yes.
He doesn't care what you say. He went up like 26 points last quarter after he fired half of his team.
Ain't nobody that invincible until Rebecca Hurst Helmsley comes on the scene in about 10 years.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Then there comes Bulletproof. Jesus God, man.
I guess it should be Heather Hurst Helmsley. It's still Triple H. That makes more sense.
That would actually be kind of good.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one, we've got the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bianca Belair versus Bayley, which I'm not going to lie, I haven't really paid much attention since WrestleMania. Strictly because I'm still hungover from it because I'm sad, guys. Like, that was just a terrible, terrible 2-night event. I didn't expect to see Bayley in the match. I don't know how that came about.
She whined She whined her way into it.
Yeah, it's another week just entry point. Same reason like Charlotte Flair somehow finds her way into a championship match. Bailey hasn't done anything of substance since losing to Sasha Banks, but somehow she gets written into a championship match against one of the hottest female superstars on earth right now in Bianca Belair. It's a shame because I think this could have been a cool match if it was built up correctly, but it wasn't. I think this is going to sound really weird. I would have liked to have seen Asuka actually defect to SmackDown, and I would have rather seen Bianca Belair and Asuka go at it for this match. That's just dream writing, but it ain't going to happen. But it would have been cool because Bailey she's not the same anymore. She got neutered by Sasha Banks on kayfabe, and they didn't bring her back hard at all. Now she's like some whiny asshole that has a stupid, like fake talent show or whatever the hell it is. Hello Ding Dong or whatever the hell it is.
Ding Dong.
Yeah, that's dumb. Dumb.
Our little podcast. So you hit the nail on the head right there when you said Bianca Belair, hottest superstar right now. I get creative fucks a lot of things up.
Yeah.
You cannot fuck this up.
No, it's
Bianca Belair for the win.
Yeah, same. I'm not even going to go into why I think it's going to happen. It just should happen. Someone take Bianca Belair as well.
So off the top, I'll just say I'm taking Bianca Belair as well. But as we were talking about this, I just realized something. They fucked up a great opportunity with this card. You did not need to have a single title defended. You could have had all number one qualifiers on the Backlash pay-per-view. You could have had just everybody fighting for a chance at the next one. Because you have so many three-way matches. And like you could have Damian Priest and Miz fighting over an Intercontinental title chance. Like this match seems forced. It seems rushed, just like everything else. And yeah, Bailey's going to get jobbed out as she should. Bianca Belair is the future, and she should keep that for quite a while longer. And a second point I want to make is if we're doing Bets of Doom on this, I think we need to do the AEW card on Memorial Day weekend for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree.
So this deserves a Bets of Doom, so does that.
I'm going to steal a Matt line here, and WWE Creative, if you're listening, that was Adam Bashline. You can hit us up at DKNWTB at, is it gmail.com?
Yeah, man, we've only been doing it for like 13 episodes now. Yes, it's DKNWTB at gmail.com. If you want to know anything else about us, follow us at DKNWTB on all social media, and also go to smoothmyballs.com/DWTB for a discount.
Yeah,
shameless pop.
Why wouldn't it make sense after your biggest card of the year to have a card of all qualifying matches? Like, it just makes sense to set up the future of the year. I mean,
you would think.
And you're going to have another one in the next match. Spoiler alert. Let's get to it. This one's all pointless.
Oh, yeah. This one's even more pointless. You've got the WWE Championship in a triple threat yet again. Somehow someone weasels their way in. The Big Train, who we all saw getting elevated to the main event status after the Shane McMahon steel cage match.
Good Lord.
But you've got Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman. And Adam, I'm going to let you kick this last one off.
Oh, thanks so much. Real simple. Bobby Lashley's going to win. That's my pick. Braun Strowman's in there in the Asuka spot. He's taking the pinfall. Bobby Lashley's keeping this belt till SummerSlam. I'm telling you right now. Hot prediction. Another hot prediction, a hot forecast for SummerSlam. It's going to be Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. So Bobby Lashley's keeping it until SummerSlam. And they don't want to ruin Drew's push completely, so they're going to have Braun take the pin.
I couldn't agree with that more. That's exactly what I was going to say. Braun Strowman is built to get beat at these matches. He's the worst used big guy in modern history. So Bobby Lashley will win. He will pin Braun Strowman. Drew McIntyre will take the L. Drew McIntyre will hang around the championship scene. He will win some pretty incredible matches. He'll probably even have a great match at SummerSlam too, against probably a part-timer, maybe John Cena. Who knows? He's set for a debut to come back too. Cool. I think at this point, Bobby Lashley is on a collision course with Brock Lesnar, and SummerSlam is set to be one of the biggest pay-per-view cards in front of fans. So where else would you want that to happen for Brock Lesnar to come back when that music hits at jump, 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 jump? Fans will pop. Bobby Lashley deserves a pop in front of live audience. So I agree. Bobby Lashley takes this because he's going to somehow find a way to pin Braun Strowman.
So I thought about this all day, that I kind of still think that they're going to try to give McIntyre his moment in front of the fans. But the more and more I sat and thought about it, I can't. I have to agree. Lashley taking the W here. Doesn't matter who it's over. He's going to come out of it looking strong. I don't know where they go from here to set anything up for the next 6 months, but it's Lashley all the way.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you saying that about Drew, but Drew has more years left in the tank. That's why I think Lashley.
Yeah.
Well, what really swayed me is I saw an article that Drew did, and he kind of came out of character, but he still talked about his character.
I thought you were going to say he came out of the closet.
No.
That'd be cool. Finally.
I'm not really Scottish. I'm Welsh.
Where he was like, I think the loss for Drew McIntyre was good. I had such a run over that last year, which I don't know what run he's talking about, but I had such a run that I'm not that Superman character like John Cena where I just can't be beat. I'm more that Batman character where I'm not superhuman. I can lose, and I lurk in the shadows sometimes. And
I don't know. I've never seen a Batman look that badass. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
George Clooney ain't stacking up to that.
I mean,
No,
you remember the bat nipples?
Yeah, bat nipples, baby. That's exactly why he's number one in my book in the Batman
Hashtag
franchise.
bat nipples.
Hashtag bat nipples. Hashtag ask about him. Hashtag bat nipples.
So we have a history of really fucking up these tiebreakers here.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't looked at how that's going to play out and whether we can have a tie. I want to do just a random tiebreaker here between the three of us. Let's pick a number 1 through 50. If it comes down to a tie, we'll Google randomize, and we'll play closest, no Price is Right rule.
I was ready to pick Michael Chandler.
Do you want me to just write it down real quick?
That's fine.
Write the number down that we have to pick around?
That's fine, and we'll all show it and tell it at the same time.
Okay.
I have no idea. What's my number?
So it's
1 and 50.
Between 1 and 50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Without going over?
No, it's non-Price is Right.
Oh, okay. Non-price.
We're playing straight closest wins.
Yeah, because I feel like we have a lot of similar.
Yeah, I think we each differ on like one maybe, but the way that it can break out.
I just
realized if I'm the one writing it down, how am I supposed to guess?
I was thinking the same damn
Yeah,
thing.
that's not smart. Just Rochambeau it.
No, Google.
Oh, I'm just writing the number down, and if there's a tie, we'll
just have
randomize.
Google. Yeah, we'll just have Google random it.
Okay.
Yeah,
If there's a tie.
that's what it.
So you're just writing our three guesses down, Matt.
Okay.
So, good. What's your number?
Mine?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to pick my favorite number, and that's 29.
Okay. I'm picking my favorite number, 18.
Ooh, and my favorite number hits on the other side of everybody. It's 37.
Perfect. So yeah, if it comes down to a tie, guys, I'll go into Google. I'll randomize, pick a number 1 through 50.
Yeah. On a video call, I ain't trusting your ass.
We'll do it in person. That's fine. And whoever's closest, regardless of going over, takes the dub. Second closest takes second place if it comes down to it.
Sounds good.
I'm taking a picture with my phone so you guys can see. I'm not cheating. I'm showing you. It's right there.
Boom.
No cheating.
I also have a note in my phone of all of our picks.
Oh,
I don't trust your phone notes. I don't trust those phone notes.
because I probably won't remember who I picked come Sunday.
I got it screenshotted too. I'll send it out.
All right.
So getting away from the land of scripted fighting and getting into the world of competitive cage fighting, there is some news that is coming out. Mr. Anthony Rumble Johnson, who we know to be a very skilled light heavyweight, he has had some just massive bouts in the UFC, and he is now in Bellator. He recently had a fight just a few weeks ago, I believe, or just I think a week ago. He won. I mean, huge knockout, great fight, but that's not when the spectacle stopped. Bellator light heavyweight Anthony Rumble Johnson was arrested in Fairfield County, Connecticut, after he walked away from the cage that night. He scored his knockout victory in his promotional debut. So, according to police reports, Mr. Rumble Johnson, he was arrested by the New Canaan. Am I saying that right? Canaan?
That's how I would say it, yeah.
New Canaan Police Department on suspected third-degree identity theft for allegedly purchasing an airline ticket with an unauthorized credit card. The crime was reported on November 9th of 2019. So it's 2021. It's a little less than 2 years later. Police records show that Johnson made bail and was released, and he has a court date scheduled for this upcoming June 8th. So at this point, Mr. Rumbly Rumbles took someone's credit card, what it looks like, and was able to purchase an airline ticket. It's tough to say where he'd be going. I thought that he made money. Didn't he get paid well at the UFC?
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty successful in the UFC. I mean, he had some time off. I know he took a bit of downtime, and I think due to an injury to his eye, actually, at some point. Yeah. And then came back at a heavier weight and dominated. It's sad to hear. I don't know what to say. I don't know why he would do that. But I'm a fan of him. I mean, he's an exciting fighter. He seems like a straight up guy in front of the camera. But it's not an excuse for theft. Yeah, this kind of shocked me, to be honest. I thought he made money. I thought he was a stand-up gentleman. Hopefully it's just confusion, but since it's dating back to 2019, I think they probably checked this out by now.
I know when most people see a gap of time between the enacted charges and when they bring it to the attention of the defendant, they always think like, oh, they just were waiting for it. There's time in between when it occurred and when they arrested somebody. There is going to be a cornucopia of evidence to go along with that. The only thing I can say, though, it's suspected third-degree identity theft, which I believe, if I go back to my old criminal justice brain, that is can be satisfied with a fine. I mean, he will be charged. If he's found to be guilty, he will probably pay a fine. I don't see him having to do anything along the lines of like jail time for that. Especially it's an airline ticket. I think now, especially after, because Bellator pays their fighters well, he had a highlight knockout. I think he probably has the money to pay that off. So hopefully it's not true, but if it is, I think Mr. Rumble Johnson can take care of it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was gonna say. He just got his knockout victory, even if it's a fine. I'm sure he's good now. The only thing I'll add is it's been a while since you've seen Rumble Johnson around. So I mean, just like most professional athletes, he could have just fallen on hard times. I don't know, but I am glad to see him back in the fight game if he can keep going after this.
I hope he went somewhere fun. You know, I hope he didn't like just catch a plane from like I went from North Carolina to New Jersey and I had to get up there for something. You know what I mean? I hope he was.
I flew into Trenton and now I got arrested.
He went from the Charlotte fucking airport to New Jersey.
Yeah, you better flew to the Bahamas.
He didn't even make it that far. He went Delta. He went from Charlotte to the fucking hub in Atlanta and done.
Well, I can tell you right now, they caught him.
He had two layovers.
Yeah. I was already say, you know, you didn't take Spirit because it would have said like he had a ticket and then a transfer and then another transfer and then a transfer.
But you know, he wasn't flying with baggage.
No,
because that's just extra money.
That's extra cash. So maybe he did go from Charlotte to New Jersey. But good luck, Mr. Rumble Johnson, Rumbly Rumbles. I hope that you can get through this and Just a dumb nickname. I don't know. Rumble.
For all fairness, his nickname is not Rumbly Rumbles. You just gave that to him.
Yeah. I mean, to me, like, I don't know, man. Going on to other.
When you call him Rumbly Rumbles, he sounds like a kindergarten teacher.
When you say that, I think of Dana Carvey. Turtley Turtle.
Yeah.
You want to join the Turtle Club?
Well, I think it's because like that name is dumb. I don't know. Like if you're gonna pick a name to strike fear in the hearts of people, you're gonna pick Rumble. All I think is
Pampers.
It's an N64 controller, like a Rumble Pack. That's all I can think of. I can't think of it like a tough dude. I think of you playing Turok Dinosaur Hunter and like, oh, the graphics are so real.
Back in the day, playing Golden.
See, it's so funny because it brings up a different video game for me. I think of Streets of Rage. Like you're just.
Ooh.
See, which is a good,
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't think about it.
Yeah, see, I get good vibes off of it.
Yeah, because all the characters in Streets of Rage had one word onomatopoeia names like slash, rumble, punch.
Exactly.
What's that guy's name? That's Kick.
Who's that? That's Chet.
So going on to other news in MMA and prison, someone who wasn't so lucky to only face a third degree is Mr. Jason Mayhem Miller, who we all should know from his time on Bully Beatdown because his MMA career was only good overseas. So former mixed martial arts fighter Jason Mayhem Miller, who already has a lengthy criminal record, he pled guilty to vandalism on past Tuesday. He was immediately sentenced to 364 days in jail. As part of the plea deal, a felony count of attempted grand theft was dismissed, according to court records. It looks like Mr. Mayhem has been in custody since August 21st, so he may get some time served on that, but he still has quite a few months to give. This is not the first time that Jason Mayhem Miller has run into problems with the law. He was on probation at one point in 2018, where he made the promise that he was going to do better, saying that he was characterized as limited and disappointing by his probation officer, which I don't know if you've ever been talked to by a teacher before. It's like, I'm disappointed in you, and it should hurt real bad because I know probation officers and they don't say that shit. That's a very nice phrase to say. Mayhem Miller, Jesus Christ. Mayhem Miller has had a just troublesome legal past. He's had everything under the sun. I mean, God, if you just look at it, there's graffiti charges, hurling ceramic tile at deputies during a standoff. Slapping a woman, probation issues, live tweeting on a standoff between he and Orange County sheriffs. I mean, you have a guy who doesn't quite understand what it's like to just calm the fuck down for a second, which, I mean, his name is Mayhem. I don't know. I think it's a guy who has some significant issues, and I'm going to go on a branch here, and I'm going to say CTE.
I think it's severe ADD, to be honest. Like, because he's had it since he was so young. He's just had these problems with vandalism and just destroying property. I'm surprised. Like, I would say it's drugs, but he's never caught a drug charge. Like, this looks like. Has he?
If you go back, he did violate his probation back in 2018, where he tested positive for the ingredient in marijuana and various opioids, according to court records.
Okay, marijuana wasn't the drug I was thinking of. Opioids.
Yes,
I was totally thinking an oxy head here. So
also too, if you see his
never mind.
If you see his mugshot right now, he has like one eye is kind of half closed, and he's staring at the camera like. Argh. Like he's one-eyed, and also too, they tried to
probably because he called him Mayhems.
Probably, yeah, I would say because I've disturbed him by talking about him on a podcast, Josh. Back in October of 2015, the police did try to cure him of his ADHD because they had to taser him. It didn't work.
do it.
Yeah,
no,
it didn't work.
It was just like he just always reminded me of that kid in elementary school. You were like, he probably shouldn't be near the Kool-Aid right now. Like, he's already got enough sugar. But this kid never got stopped. He's just taking it right from the packet. Like, he was always hyper on that TV show. He was always hyper as a fighter. He had goofy entrances. He was never that, like you said, never that successful domestically. He did well in Japan.
He did.
I don't know. It's a shame, but he has the track record. I can't feel surprised or disappointed. Like,
yeah,
he's just kind of following his status quo.
I would say I'm disappointed so much in that he had it all on a platter for him. He was a figurehead at the height of early MMA surge. I mean, that Bully Beatdown show, as much as it was kind of laughable at times, it was one of the highest rated shows on MTV. I mean, it rivaled some of the like real world challenge shows that were on at the time. People were tuning into that Bully Beatdown show. Yeah,
and correct me if I'm wrong. That is when the UFC was like coming back up. That's when Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, Randy Couture were getting big. Like, he could have been the fourth name in that series, but he just kept fucking up.
Yeah, and he also had some pretty good friends in the industry too. I mean, before they fell out, on the show, he had like Jake Shield was on there at one point.
Mm-hmm.
He had Andre Arlovsky. I mean, so it's not like he was without support from veteran fighters. I just think there was no one that could get in his head to help him straighten out completely. Clearly the loss of money, the loss of a contract, and loss of like TV promotion didn't bother him. So I don't know what's going to bother him enough to help him figure it out. Maybe a year in jail will do it, but I highly doubt it. Usually I would say, as a person who has been tasered before, if you get hit with a taser, you usually figure it out after you get hit with a taser.
Matt, in all honesty, you deserved it. You went off in that sheets.
Well, you know what? It's the thing about, like, if I yell back to the employees behind the counter and I say special order and they say there's fucking touch screens and I yell back at them, it's their fault. I wanted extra pepper rings on my goddamn meatball hoagie, and if you don't want to give them to me, you better taser me because I'm coming across the counter to get them. All right, so we're going to go into a break for some ads. Thank you so much for listening to us, and hopefully you hear something that you want to subscribe to or check out. We'll be back here in a couple of seconds. We'll see you then. Hey, guys. I think we're all sitting here with partners, women in our lives that would kind of appreciate it if we groomed up a little bit. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm lucky enough to have been in touch with a company called Smooth My Balls, and they want to make sure that we bring our listeners what they have to offer. So right now, they offer the Turf Chopper 3.0 with skin-safe technology. So when you are trimming your sack, you don't mess up and bring a messed up chia pet to a magic party, if you know what I'm saying.
You got to bring your A game to the battlefield, guys.
Always. And the other thing, too, I don't know about you guys, but I often get talked to about having all the hair left in the sink. That's when the Pube Muncher 1.0 comes in. It's a little vacuum, sucks it all up, and grinds up all the hairs, and you can throw away a little easier. That way you can avoid a conversation later, and you can stay groomed.
Always important.
Always important. And right now, all of our listeners can save 15% on their order.
How can they do that?
I'm glad you asked, Josh. They can go to smoothmyballs.com/DWTB and save 15% on their entire order right now. That's smoothmyballs.com/DWTB. And don't forget to look at some of the other products they have, like the sack mat, like the sack vacuum, like the ball freshening powder, and everything else. It's all there for you. smoothmyballs.com/DWTB for 15% off your order right now.
Please them ladies.
The one-stop shop for men's grooming.
That's right. Welcome back to the Jojitorium. In 2020 and 2021, we found a new phenomenon in cancel culture. We've seen some of the most audacious claims against people that we've known in our pop culture lives go down in a blaze of glory. Rowan Atkinson said it best, that cancel culture is a medieval mob looking for someone to burn. Now, while I can agree with that, I think some people just finally got a vehicle to post their crazy out there and finally got caught on their shit. Much like Mike Lindell, if you guys would know, is the CEO of MyPillow. He got ditched by over 20 retailers after he publicly questioned the electoral results of a 2020 presidential election and made his election fraud claims into a movie. Lindell is an unwavering supporter of former President Donald Trump and visited him in the White House on January 15th, 5 days before Mr. Trump left office. Now, you can support who you want to, but I think when you go so far to put fraud claims into a movie, you should get canceled.
I'm not even gonna go that far with it. Just how creepy he is in the commercials. I mean, I could care less about your political views. Like, everybody has their own flavor as far as that goes. But just super creepy, hugging pillows, crucifix displayed on his chest, breathing into it with his creepy mustache. Like, just cancel him for those damn commercials.
That's fair.
Just seeing him smile into the camera with that crooked, like, toothy Cheshire cat looking. Oh yeah, it's really fucked up. And then he's like, and then I can be in your house for $29.99.
I mean, he clearly made enough money on those pillows. Hire a spokesperson. God damn, please do not be the face of this company.
He clearly got enough money off those fucking pillows because he made a movie.
He's got the same response team as General Mills.
they would have swept him up a hell of a lot better if GM came through to take him. Speaking of people who need to be swept up, the famous author of the Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling, faced some serious backlash for voicing her fears that pushed for transgender rights will ultimately endanger women's rights. She's since defended her comments on her website and joined 150 authors and academics denouncing cancel culture. These actions have only further infuriated her critics, who called for a boycott of her books and for her publisher to stop paying royalties. I'm sorry, you can't stop Harry Potter. I don't care how much transgender hate you have out there. You're an asshole for it because they're people too, but Harry Potter, too big to fail.
I do like that she's coming out to, like, in opposition of the cancel culture, because I'm one of the ones that I think the whole wave of cancel culture as a whole, we're just getting a little too carried away at times. I think that in this scenario that it's right to push back on her for what she said, but to completely cancel things for somebody's opinion is...
To cancel things for certain opinions, I agree on, but to cancel somebody for what she said, I'm fine with. And for her to double down and be like, oh, no, I'm not apologizing for what I did. I'm going to just fight against cancel culture. Just seems in really bad taste, given her demographic. Like, it just, it seems stupid as hell. Yes.
Impressionable people.
That young white, that
and
YA.
It's young adults that are in the stage of their life where they're going through these decisions. And it just doesn't make sense that you're pushing out transgenders because you think it's hindering women's rights. It just doesn't make sense.
They don't butt up against each other. You know what I mean?
They can live parallel to each other. They both deserve their rights, and you don't need to put one down for the other. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I think that I can almost believe that she thought if she's just like, if I just keep saying it and I don't stop, people will leave me the fuck alone and I can start writing the gay Harry Potter fan fiction book that everyone wants me to write. And it didn't happen because clearly she's not opposed to gay rights, because she champions all of the weird creepypasta like Harry Potter, like gay fan fiction, which is fine. Like, I don't give a shit about that either. But I'm sorry, but if you're going to support one part of LGBTQ, I think you got to subscribe to the whole thing because you got to understand where everyone's coming from. And I think for her, she latched onto something that she doesn't, one, know anything about, and two, tried to link it to something that everyone's still fighting for. And that's women's rights.
Yep. I would say, yeah, she didn't grasp the full understanding of that before she said it initially. But then instead of apologizing and admitting that, she doubled down in the wrong direction.
Do you know who else doubled down in 2021?
Oh, yes, I do. Go ahead.
Gina Carano doubled down. She decided to say that being a Republican in 2021 was similar to being Jewish during Nazi Germany. As a result, her Hollywood agent dropped her, and Hasbro scrapped her Star Wars action figures. I'm going to go on a limb here and say that nothing is like being a Jew during Nazi Germany. There's nothing like it. Maybe there's some points in time that can be paralleled to it. Slavery, whenever you were hunted for the color of your skin, much like Jews were hunted for their ethnic backgrounds. Maybe those two things can be synonymous to a certain degree. But I think whenever you can sit at a Starbucks and drink a fucking latte and tweet in 2021 as a Republican, you're not a fucking Jew. You're not fucking persecuted for it. You just chose a dumb fucking side of a dumb fucking game. It's not the same. You're an asshole. You got canceled for a reason because you're dumb. Not because you said anything outlandish. It's because you're dumb. I think you said a dumb thing and you got canceled for being dumb. Dumb. Scoot, dum, no more.
Rumbly rumble.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree. Again, don't care what side of the politics you fall on. But a really bad comparison. I mean, the last election was almost 50-50. So you're not even in the vast minority, let alone being persecuted as a Jewish person in World War II during the Holocaust. It's just a super exaggeration. Very inappropriate, and I really like Gina Carano before that, and that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, it was stupid.
I just invite Gina Carano because she hasn't yet said anything of substance other than like, I'm sorry I said what I said. She said that, and you apologized, but if someone could just drop off a book for her that details Crystal Knock, if she could read that and then try to talk about how sorry she is, I would love to see that, because I don't think she understands the plights of people who are persecuted and hunted by an entire government entity. When she figures it out and she can actually speak to it appropriately, I'd love to hear what she can say, because it'll sound a hell of a lot better than the dog shit she put out to try to save her career. The Mandalorian doesn't need you. They had Bill Burr. He's better than you anyway. I don't give a shit. all these stormtroopers are wicked fast.
Yeah, the Enterprise will be fine without you.
Yeah, just cancel the whole show at
Shut
this
up,
point.
Adam. So I think we can
Stupid
clearly
Star
see.
Wars.
Jesus
They cancel
Christ.
her, but keep Spock.
Anyway, so it's clear to see that
Somebody
some
should
people,
cancel Star Wars.
That's a hot take, and you better take it back. Take it back. Take it back.
I'm fine with the Star Battles. It's fine.
So this is the last episode of Decaying with the Boys. I'm glad that everyone enjoyed all the episodes that we put out.
I take it back. Don't cancel Star Wars. A lot of people's lives depend on it for some reason. It's fine. If my best friend likes it, it can stay around so he doesn't kill himself.
I'll try my best. As long as I can ride on the Starship Enterprise, you fucking asshole. You just crossed things over.
You'll take the Starship Enterprise all the way to the Death Star.
Can we finish the bit? Can we finish the bit?
Go ahead.
Oh my god. Okay. So I get it. It's something I like that you two don't subscribe to. Again, I get it. And then you also
William Shatner was a great Luke Skywalker. What are you talking about?
You guys know enough about this shit to do all this cross. You're taking Star Trek and you're shoving up the ass of Star Wars and you're trying to get me all riled up. I've watched both of them. I'm a fan of both of them. It's totally fine. You can do that all you want to. All right. I'm not going to get on here because I'm totally open about it. I love those fucking things. You guys don't. That's cool. But I'll let you know.
Do you want a credit? I love the little furry creatures in the Star Wars. I love
what are they
them.
called?
I forget what they're called.
Ewoks.
Klingons, I think.
Oh, fucking Christ. So anyway. Oh my God. It's like watching them celebrate is almost as bad as the joke he just made. I just can't.
I didn't know it was a joke coming up. I thought he actually forgot.
So anyway, the rest of this bit is supposed to be about cancel culture. So I have to hard
beam me up, here. C3PO.
All right. This is fun. I'm glad that I showed up to do this fucking show with you assholes.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh, Christ. I wish C3PO would fucking shoot your balls off. So, oh, you two motherfuckers. I tell you what, if you guys would even begin to talk about the things you love other than like fucking Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I would flame on you guys too. But you guys don't do shit outside of your fucking basements. It's killing me. I can't fucking do it. You're trying to do the fucking live long and prosper. You can't even do it because your hands have rheumatoid arthritis developing in them. I can't.
No, I was trying to throw Vader time out, you dumb-dumb.
New brand crossover.
All right.
My fingers are very
Tom. Tom.
You're very right, though. My fingers are very arthritic.
So, can I just say that too? I like how the setup that you guys have, the jokes that how you guys set them up work. Adam says something that takes a lot of like cunning and like understanding and pop culture knowledge.
I'll ride on the coattails. That's
together.
I appreciate that.
And then Josh says something like a catchphrase, and it stings, but it's like anything else. You know, Adam's laying down a lot of hard work, and Josh is like, I know how to ride on that. So anyway,
it's fine. You know what else stung?
So it's like I'm the SoundCloud rapper, and he's my SoundCloud hype man.
Yeah, exactly. No one sees him.
You know what else stung? This will put a smile back on your face. My butthole Monday morning after those fucking tacos.
Well, I mean that was part of my Jigsaw-esque trap to make you think that they weren't that bad to only lay a bomb for later.
Well, my dumbass also ate a fourth later in the day.
Well, let's see, that was your fault. I did leave a 10 of them because I think Adam at one point said he wanted to have one. So
I tried a little bit. Yeah. They were delicious, but painful.
I also used Diablo sauce on top.
That was not smart.
Nope.
So I already know one of the answers to this question here that I was going to pose to you guys, going back to cancel culture. So I was going to ask you guys, since we kind of know that some people do need canceled, who would you guys pick? Come up with two people. Who would you cancel for whatever reason? It doesn't matter. I just want to know, why would you cancel them?
Can I kick it off?
Yeah, if you want to, go ahead.
I'm canceling the fucking Paul brothers.
Okay.
Both of them. And that's only one cancel for me. But I'm fucking canceling both of them.
Oh, so we can do groups?
I'm fucking doing it. I don't care. I'm canceling both of them.
I'm not going to lie. Both of mine were like groups or like
that works for me.
Business, I guess. It's an entity. So yeah, I'm okay with that.
I mean, I think that we've discussed reason enough over the past couple episodes, but fuck them. I don't want to see them anymore. Go away.
Great. Okay, so what would you do? How do you start the campaign to cancel them?
Got your career?
Just show them their own career?
Hashtag got your career.
Okay, who's your number 2?
Oh, so you want both of mine up front?
Yeah, let me hear
Unless
both.
you got more to say
Okay.
about the Paul brothers.
No. This one is actually kind of like legit though. She's already kind of out of mainstream now, but Amber Heard, after all the shit that went down between her and Johnny Depp,
I could agree with
and she basically ruined Johnny Depp's career. He had to leave the Fantastic Beasts series because of the allegations that she put against him, which have come out to be found to be false. But because it's in the fucking spotlight, Johnny Depp now has to face the repercussions of it. So that bitch can go away.
I think what also sucks for him is over in the UK when the judge actually ruled that all the tabloids can continue to print all the allegations against him, even though they've been found to be widely inaccurate.
Yeah.
That was terrible for Johnny Depp. You know, that dude has done a lot of great things, and we might eat crow pie here because it might come out that he actually did some of that shit. But I think that the amount of evidence against Amber Heard is like,
yeah,
she's very abusive emotionally and physically.
Exactly. And like there's stories to the point that like if you see in interviews of them together, he physically flinched when like she would move her hand, but yet she's the one coming out saying that he abused her emotionally, physically, mentally. Like, okay, maybe I wasn't there, I don't know, but the facts have been presented that in actuality she's the one that was the controlling fucking conniving bitch in the whole scenario. But
Josh,
she's coming
I would like to know if Josh, you made a statement there like you weren't there. I would hope that if you ever were there, that we would kind of know about it. I mean, that would be pretty like, hey guys, I was hanging out with Johnny Depp and I watched Amber Heard fucking backhand him and called him Edward Scissor bitch.
Captain Jack, fuck off.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I did live in San Diego. I was really close down to LA. You know, me and Johnny, we go way back.
Hollywood vampires. Adam.
So neither of mine are that serious. My first one, and Matt, you might be on the other side of this, so go ahead and ask me as many questions as you want about why I'm canceling it. It is a mobile app, a company, an entity. I want to cancel Untapped.
Ooh.
Because I think it gives inexperienced beer drinkers a forum to ruin small craft breweries that don't deserve the negative ratings based on people's lack of knowledge about beer. And I'm coming at that from a brewer's perspective.
I can agree with that because I've watched complete edgelords use Untapped to wield their lack of knowledge on other people. I've seen it happen in breweries. I've seen it happen in beer stores where, because the spice of the craft beer industry is trying new things. I like to do that. Guilty as charged. If you have a cool label on your can and it's a style that I kind of subscribe to, I'm going to try it.
Right.
I may never heard you before, but I'm going to try it.
And that's fine. That's marketing. So that's fine.
Yeah. And I've seen edgelords come in and be like, do you know the Untapped rating on that double hazy is only a 3.2?
Right.
People trying stuff.
So I mean, yeah. So people subscribe to the ratings, which I don't think is a great idea. And then people posting like, oh, I had this lager. I don't like lagers, but I drank it. Not my favorite. 1.5. That brings that rating down for that brewery, especially if it's a small brewery that might only have 30 ratings on that beer.
Right.
And if it's a great lager and just because it's not your style, it's a problem. You can log those in without rating them.
Yeah.
Just to know you had it. And
yeah. And you don't want to try it again.
Right. So yeah, I would like to cancel at least Untapped's rating feature. I do like that I can keep track of the beers I've had.
I do like that too. Yeah.
That I'm trying something new, but so that's my first one. And we're going to get a lot of unsubscribers on my second one.
Okay,
but
cool.
I would like to cancel a band, and that band is Tool.
Oh, God.
I fucking hate Tool. And I hate going on any metal blog, any metal Facebook group, any metal Instagram, and seeing Tool is the greatest. They do so much good shit. Blah, 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 blah. They are not good. They wrote one good song and then they put it on 16 fucking albums. Don't need to hear it anymore. 16-minute songs about fucking triangles. It's not inspiring to me. Don't want to hear it anymore. They're not as great as everybody puts them up to be. Maynard James Keenan is a douche in every interview I've ever heard him do. And let's just get rid of them. Just because I hate them. They've done nothing wrong in the social structure. Except Maynard being a douche. But I would like them wiped off the face of the earth.
Honestly, I thought you might be coming for Motley Crue.
No, like Motley Crue.
But I know you like them, but they just canceled or pushed their tour back again another year.
No, I'm fine with that. So did Lamb of God, and my heart broke.
Yeah, I got my refund on that one too. I was gonna say, did you watch that? There's a YouTube guy. His name's K-Mac, and he did the "How You Write a Tool" song.
Yes,
and I've watched that. Oh my god, it's great. And he's like legit, like he's on it. I did it on my guitar too. I was like, oh, I wonder if that actually plays out. It does. As long as you can,
spot on.
You just have to be able to play like weird signatures a little bit, as long as it's that beat, that like the schism beat, you can do it. You could be the next Tool.
Yeah, if you throw a Rage Against the Machine guitar riff through a reverb with enough echo, you got yourself a Tool riff.
Yes, yeah, I can agree with that. Speaking of echo,
and just for them to be like one of the standards in metal just crushes my heart.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I will say I don't own any Tool albums, because I can throw it on Spotify, listen to one song, and I've heard all of them. So, I am also not a huge fan of Tool. I don't think I would cancel them like Adam Bashline of Decaying What the Boys would do. Adam Bashline. I would say that
they're as bad as the Paul brothers.
I mean, I'm not opposed to canceling Tool either.
They're the Paul brothers of metal.
There you go. I could agree with that. Yes, they're annoying.
Got your sound.
In all fairness, I really do like the bass line and Schism, and then I'm done.
Yeah, that's it. So speaking, you said Echo earlier, and speaking of Echo, the first group of people that I'm going to cancel, hands down, is anybody who has a public speakerphone or FaceTime call in a public place. If I'm standing in line to get a fucking hamburger and you are having a full-blown the doctor said if I take some meds it'll go away on its own, and
my gonorrhea will clear up.
Yeah, if I just take the antibiotics and I don't smoke any more weed, it'll just go away on its own. I won't have to tell my wife. I won't have to tell her. Now I have to tell her, and I wish I fucking could, because you're a piece of shit, and I shouldn't know everything that you're saying to whoever you tricked into sleeping with you. I don't want to know about it. I don't think you shouldn't procreate. There should be a law against you. I should cancel everybody in that. Like, the person you're speaking to should also get canceled. So those are my two people. There you go. I'll make it really
okay, so
I want to cancel the fucking person having the call, and I want to cancel the person on the other side of the call.
But
the sender and the receiver.
Yes.
Let me ask this though. But I mean, even if you're standing in line trying to get your chicken sandwich, from somewhere, you're still going to hear a conversation if the guy's on the phone.
But just one side of it. You know what I mean? They're forcing you to hear both sides.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
Okay.
I would have cancel the guy having that conversation in public at all.
Well, that kind of conversation, like, homie, have that in your car before you go to the get-go. But
if I'm in any sort of line for a retail or service establishment, I'm just saying, I'm answering just to say, hey, I'll call you back in a minute. And
I'll put my phone down most of the time when I'm going in somewhere. I mean, I'll be honest, I've had those kind of conversations. Like, I've had a FaceTime conversation when I'm stopping at fucking Sitgo on the way home to pick up a fucking can of dip or something. But
Josh is canceled.
But it's never like I'm going into Shop and Save or Giant Eagle on FaceTime and like, hey, what should I get for dinner tonight? Like it's it's a quick little
purposeful
thing.
That's purposeful. I'm talking about people like it, and that sucks too. But I'm saying people who go into Shop and Save already on FaceTime and they're like, so where you want to go tonight? Oh, what are we gonna drink? Where do you want to go afterwards? What do you want to eat? Oh, let's just get it. Oh, what do you mean he's talking shit to you? Should I come back over there and help you beat his ass? No, Trailer Park Tammy. Just shut the fuck up. Get your taco kit like you know you need to and go back and make some Ortegas and shut the fuck up. I don't need to know your conversation.
As long as they're the shows that stand up, you're okay.
I'm going to be on Mario on July 6th. You should watch.
I don't need any part of that. I was going to say the other person I wanted to cancel before I decided to cancel both of them is anybody who provides me a service and gives me shit for buying something. It's not my fault that you work at Get Go. It's not my fault that you work at Burger King or wherever the hell I'm going. Life sucks in general. Let me just newsflash, Tiger. It sucks no matter what. So whether or not you work at Giant Eagle or you work at, I don't know, fucking like, I don't know, as a taxi driver, whatever else, it sucks. It all sucks. Not everyone treats you with respect, but just know when I come in, when you hear this stupid voice and see this dumb face, I'm going to be the nicest person you see all day. Yes, sir.
I won't be on FaceTime.
I won't be on FaceTime because otherwise I wish I would explode. If I ever do that, I hope someone hears me say this. If I'm ever on FaceTime in public, punch me in the back of the fucking head. Take me out. Put me in a coma. Make my legs not work anymore because I deserve it. There is something wrong with people who believe that their life should be in everyone else's life. I don't need to absorb anything else. I have 3 friends, and I'm including my wife. I don't need any more people's business in my life. I already absorb enough. I don't need your fucking phone call.
Wife.
Yeah, 3 friends.
That's so nice of you,
Josh.
That's
you're
so
in there
nice
too.
of you.
For now, until you keep talking about fucking Star Wars, I swear to God, I'll be down to 1 real goddamn quick. I tell you one thing we can't cancel, guys. We can't cancel those questions, emails, and comments we get here into the show. So the first question we have here, because we all love dogs, that is a statement that we can all make.
Absolutely.
What are the top spots in Pittsburgh to grab a beer if I want to bring my dog along with me?
So I know that you two guys have dogs, and I unfortunately don't have my dog anymore. So I'm going to let you two guys handle this one.
Adam?
So my top spot for taking my dog is Grist House in Millville. I know they're opening up again. They're not open right now, but they're opening up again soon. I think in the next few weeks.
Yeah, end of May here.
Yeah. So that's my number 1 spot. Then 412 Brewing on the North Shore. They will allow you to bring your dog inside or outside. They have a nice outdoor spot, but the indoor is also okay for the pups. And then Abjuration Brewing in McKees Rocks has some outdoor seating, and they are okay with the dog. In addition to that, I know Couch Brewing before the pandemic had some outdoor like porch like seating that was okay for the dogs, but I would call ahead to see what their seating situation is now with stuff reopening. But those are my recommendations, and I would recommend calling any Pittsburgh brewery just to check. I mean, don't assume they won't allow dogs. I'm sure they'd be fine to tell you if they do or don't.
Right. And I think too, if you're looking for a spot that's less brewery, more restaurant, the Double Wide down the south side is pretty pet friendly, and there are some other spots in the Shady Side area that have a lot of outdoor areas and mostly barbecue joints. If you smell burning wood, pretty sure there's going to be an outdoor area where it's dog friendly. So I concur with Adam. If you just call ahead, and they'll give you. People aren't mad to answer that question. So if you give them a call, I would say most places that have outdoor seating are pet friendly to a certain degree. I
think they're all more apt to let you know ahead of time than if you show up with your dog and try to demand a spot. So just call ahead and see what they can do for you.
I know most places like 2 things. 1, making money. 2, petting dogs. So more often than not, they're going to want to pet your dog and take your money. So it's a fair trade. So
Yes.
speaking of taking your money, and this is a question that I believe shouldn't have taken this long to come to us, but what is your favorite beer style? And I think we can answer that question twofold, since we all participate in the brew lab. I say probably favorite beer to consume and favorite beer to brew.
Wow. Boy. I'm not going to be super creative with this. My favorite to enjoy is definitely an IPA. Hazy or West Coast. I'll try them all. I do like a hoppier, bitter IPA. So some of the hazies get a little too fruity, a little too sweet for me, but I'll try them all. I do also enjoy brewing, though, just to add to the segment. Stouts are a lot of fun to make. You can add a lot of adjuncts into a stout. You can get a little creative with it. The ABV is easy to play with in a stout. So I'll say my favorite to brew could be a stout. It's probably still an IPA. I just love playing with hops. So IPAs and pale ales kind of have my heart.
So, I mean, for me, is the alcoholic kind a good answer? Because, I mean, I'll drink beer to drink beer. You know, like, I'm not picky on style. If I had to pick a favorite, it's definitely the darker. Like, I like the stouts. I like the porters.
So to beer nerd you for a second, you like imperial stouts.
Yes,
I
I was
do.
about to say you enjoy imperial stouts, Russian IPAs. I've seen
It is
you like
okay.
those too.
It is okay
Yeah.
to say high. I would, if you want to sound like a genius, you just say, I like high ABV stouts.
But, I mean, it's
Then you
not
come in slick.
it's not even just the high ABV. Like, I'll drink a 5.5 stout. I like the darker stouts. Like, it, because it's nice for the season. It warms you up a little bit. Like, it's just a delicious.
You like that
combination.
body. You like that thick,
Yeah.
the thick body.
But I mean, I'm not against in the summer drinking a half. Like, as long as there's some sort of ABV to it, I'll likely try it. As far as the brewing process goes, I mean, I'm a couple months into it. I'm still getting my feet under me when it comes to it. So any style that you guys bring to the table, I'm always all for trying to brew it. I do kind of like learning the more complex ones. So the heavier ABV ones where we have to really mix in the grains and stuff. It's interesting to learn like what goes into it.
So I'm gonna lean here, and I think Adam, I'm gonna let you guess what's my favorite beer. I feel like you and we've drank enough together that you know what my favorite beer is.
Do you want me to get real specific?
Yes.
Coffee stouts.
Boom. On the nose.
It's a good stout.
I was going to say stouts, and then when you said real specific, I was like, coffee.
Yes.
Stout.
Coffee stouts are my jam. I love coffee. I love dark beers. I love when they come together. I love when they're adjuncted the fuck out. You can put anything you want to in a coffee stout, and I'm going to try it. A shameless plug, I'm drinking it right now. I'm drinking a Triple Shakes from Hitchhiker. It's one of my favorite beers. Adam procures it for me if it's ever in cans, so I thank him for that again. And that goes into my favorite style to brew is stouts, because there's something about the smell of the stout brewing that like is so entrancing to me. It's something about just the way all the different malts hit the air whenever we throw it into hot. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is, man. I love IPAs. I love all kinds of beer, but there's something about when we get to that cold season, you know, and it's like 30 degrees outside and we're brewing beer, and it's just the smell that we get from the mash tun. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, to me, if you told me I could brew stouts for the rest of my life, I would be a very, very happy man, because that means I could also drink what I made. So stouts all day, stouts for life. In my house, it's always stout season, especially coffee stouts.
Can I do a tip in? I'm coming
Yeah.
into your backyard for it.
Yep.
But Connie Creek, the coffee camp series.
Oh, yeah.
Great coffee stouts.
Jesus Christ. They had the Mexi chocolate one that just came out, and it was a banger. I mean, just nice, spicy, little bit of creaminess, good mouth. Oh, dude, it was just really good. Speaking of really good, this last question here, this is a difficult one.
I hate this one.
As much as I'll admit 1,000% here, I'm not a huge NBA guy. I used to be when I was a kid. I used to love the NBA when I was younger. I watch it now sparingly, but you guys, we are tasked with a sit, cut, start, and this is when they're in their primes.
I was gonna say if it's today, it kind of makes it a little easy.
Yeah, no, in their primes. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James.
So I'd like to take it first because mine is the most simplistic approach, I think, out of the three of us. I'm showing my age. And in my childhood, there was nobody more impressive, more influential than Michael Jordan. So he gets my start. And then next oldest was Kobe. So I hate to say it, but I'm going to sit him because he's not MJ. So Kobe gets to sit, and I'm cutting LeBron because I just don't like how he made a spectacle of himself, to be honest. The ESPN,
The Decision.
the Decision documentary and all that stuff. Just seemed like fluff and pomp and circumstance that didn't need to be had. So I'm cutting them. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll admit, I'm a big sports fan. Like, I'm a big sports guy. The NBA, I'm more of a casual fan. Like, I'm more of a fan of players versus like following a team through the season. And I mean, that's probably a product of Pittsburgh really just not being in the NBA scene.
Yeah.
But I did grow. I like that these three players are the ones that are named because I grew up watching MJ. I hit my prime in the Kobe years, and as an adult, I follow LeBron James. This is really tough because I mean it's the age-old argument. Like, the three of them are continuously being compared against each other.
Yes.
So I'm gonna do it backwards, and for he has a killer instinct, and I mean, my man put up 80 points in a game. I understand that. I'm cutting Kobe.
Okay.
Because the versatility in LeBron's game and the defense and the offensive side that Michael Jordan can play, they both deserve a spot on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to starting one, sitting one, this is where it's kind of apples to oranges because in a way they play two different positions. LeBron James now plays point guard. He's the fucking Magic Johnson for the Lakers, where Michael Jordan played that small forward shooting guard role, and he was a perimeter shooter that could move in and cut you, break your ankles, and dunk the fuck out of you. I mean, talking in prime, you got the flu game. The era that they played in was different. Michael Jordan played with the hand checks where the superstar doesn't get the penalties all that often, or the fouls, I guess. I'm probably starting Michael Jordan, and I'm benching LeBron James on this.
Okay. That's see, and here's why I think I'm going to use different terminology here, because in my world, when I hear the word sit, that means you're just not starting. You're on the bench. You're waiting to get in. So you're waiting for that superstar to fade out. So this is the way it's going to work for me, because I'm going to start Kobe Bryant. I'm going to start him. I think that, in my time of watching Kobe, he could just, I mean, like you said, he puts up 80. he averages, it was over 40. I mean, the dude just put points on the board.
I mean, my man tore his Achilles and still had to go to the foul line and take his shots. Like,
yeah. And then, you also have that famous check-in, or the check-in pass where ball fake to the face. He doesn't even move. I mean, there's ice water in his veins. I want him for the first 3 quarters of that game until he either gets pushed around or he fouls out. And then I want my man, my hero, Michael Jordan, to come in and mop it up in the 4th quarter, because no one was as clutch as Michael Jordan. So I have to sit him until it's time for him to come in and mop up these motherfuckers that Kobe's been smacking around for 3 quarters, which ultimately leads me to cut LeBron. I think LeBron is the most physically fit and gifted out of the 3, but in terms of clutch, who can actually carry a team and not be part of a superstar team, he doesn't fit that criteria. Can he play ball? Absolutely. I mean, he's an inside, he's almost like an inside linebacker playing basketball. He's huge.
He is.
But I think when it comes down to, if there's 5 seconds left in the 4th quarter and I need someone to throw down a 2 ball on the inside block to win, I want MJ in the game.
The only thing that I mean, it's all opinion based. The only thing that I hate about your argument right there is the whole superstar aspect. And the only reason I say that, it irks me every time, because LeBron James didn't start it. He was just following suit. Look at the Celtics before him. You had Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo. You had 4 superstars on one team. How do you compete with that without playing in a league where superstars are teaming up is now supposed to happen?
Let me say this. I don't fault him for doing that, because that's clearly where we are now with the NBA. I do fault him by saying when he got drafted to the Cavaliers that he would carry that team to a championship. And when he got as close as he could, he couldn't seal the deal. And then they gave him Kevin Love. And Kevin Love was a phenomenal 2-man. He was the legitimate Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan. And LeBron couldn't make it work. All the while, yes. Has he been on super teams, the Heat, the Lakers? Yes, absolutely. But when he had his chance to be the man,
he brought one home to Cleveland.
He brought one to Cleveland, but not when he was given the they handed him the crown and they said, take this team, and he could not seal the deal. That's the problem I have with him. He only was able to go ahead and win a championship for Cleveland when he had so many pieces around him. He had a lesser known superstar team, but that front office did a great job surrounding him with talent.
I mean, to be fair, when he first came into the league, he had Anderson Varejao, Delonte West, Mo Williams. Delonte West was out there supposedly fucking his mom. And
he should.
He needed somebody besides just him at 18 years old trying to carry the team. And the Cavaliers didn't that.
At 18, but he was there for more years. And just your argument that the Celtics did it, so LeBron should do it. No, just be the bigger person. Like, do this on your own.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody says this, but Michael didn't win until he had Pippen and Rodman and Stockton.
He won without Rodman.
Okay, he didn't win without Pippen.
And Stockton?
He didn't have Stockton.
He didn't have Stockton. That was the Utah Jazz.
Oh, I'm thinking Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr.
Yeah. Other white guy.
Yeah.
He had Kukoc, he had Kerr. But here's the thing, though, too, man. Michael Jordan had the Island of Forgotten Toys.
Yeah,
he had a bunch of people that nobody wanted.
Exactly. Did he want those people, or did he build those people? That's
I think he built those people. Nobody wanted Scottie Pippen.
I mean, to be fair,
LeBron brought those people from teams and their talent was already established.
I started
when
Michael
Jordan did that.
In this argument.
When Jordan, I know, but when Jordan did that, those guys weren't. They're not bums, but they're not stars.
at the time
on their teams.
Pippen was up there.
The only one,
that
though.
level.
The only one.
No, I'll give that to you.
Rodman was getting thrown away.
was
Kerr was getting thrown away.
Rodman was thrown away as just a defensive player.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Jordan brought them up.
I think that it is. I can agree with the statement made earlier that it is very opinion based. I think each player brings a certain aspect to the game, and it's all about what you want. Do you want physicality? Then you pick LeBron. Do you want clutch? Then you pick Michael Jordan. Do you want to pick someone who just decimates through a majority of the game? Then you pick Kobe. You know, I mean, at this point, I think anyone can take anybody, but I think too, there's a deeper aspect to it. If you were to pick them past their prime, you know what I mean? Like after they won some championships, like their latter years of time, you know, I think that this question's significantly different, because I think the only consistent player we've seen really in past their prime, because I don't think LeBron's really passed it too far, but LeBron has been the only real consistent player past his prime.
Yeah, I mean, he's still in the conversation of MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
year after year,
consistent.
Where I mean, I'll give Kobe credit.
I was just saying, I'd give Kobe some credit in the past.
Yeah, I mean, past his prime, he still had that instinct. But with Kobe, once he hit that wall, it wasn't even like a gradual downturn. It's like he hit it and then he became like a role player.
Yeah, it went down and it plateaued, but still it plateaued at a high level, but not the same level. Yeah.
I can say the one thing that you hear about all these people, all these players at once is they were all past their prime. They were all kind of difficult to play with. I think that was one thing that was said about all of them, that they were difficult to play with. So speaking of difficult to play with, we did get an email here. So we kind of put it out there before about writing people's dating profiles, and we said, you know, just get yourself out there, do what you can do. So we got an email here. What's up, boys? I took your advice and did some Tindering, and I found a pretty awesome girl. She's great, and she doesn't care that I'm a thick boy, craft beer nerd, video game playing, pro wrestling marky mark. But after our most recent date, I realized that she is a Red Wings fan. I'm a ride or die Colorado Avalanche fan. I don't know if I can let 1997 go, and this could be a deal breaker. What do I do?
My two comments to this, gentleman. It is a gentleman, I assume. I don't know.
No, it's a gentleman.
Okay,
it's a guy.
At least he's not a Star Wars fan. But coming from my roots, fuck the Red Wings. Leave that bitch on the curb.
Oh, no. Do not listen to Josh, my friend. If she's accepting you for all of your nerdy downfalls, which are very similar to mine, being a thick boy, being a craft beer nerd, being a wrestling nerd,
and being a Star Wars nerd,
you just rub it in her face. The Red Wings are currently garbage in last place in the conference. And the Avalanche are in first. The Avalanche are in first right now. So just enjoy the ride. I think a good hockey feud. The Red Wings might not be in last, but they're in like 7.
No, I was going to say, I think the Wild are actually in first.
No, I think I checked it today, the Avalanche are in first. So enjoy the ride. And rub it in her face. A good hockey rivalry in a relationship, I think, is healthy. Yeah. I mean, me and my wife both like the Penguins, so I don't have it. But, you know, go to the games with each other and jab at each other a little bit, and then go home and drink it off together. So, you know.
Yeah, but see,
I don't think a hockey rivalry is a reason. If she's into craft beer and wrestling, you keep that one. She's a keeper.
Yes.
Well, see, that's the thing. He didn't specify that she's into it. He just specified that she doesn't care.
Good enough.
Yeah.
That's some nerdy ass shit you're into. Good enough. Yeah.
I gotta say too, I have to agree with Adam. You can't listen to a single thing that Josh says because he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. So I would say you really can't put too much effort. If she's not caring about what you're into, I would say you better reciprocate that first and foremost. If she's into you being all those things, if she's into like watching like YouTube makeup tutorials and all that shit, you better be about that stuff too. You better be on board with that. And if your problem with her is that she is a fan of the Red Wings and you're a fan of the Colorado Avalanche, let's be honest with each other. Neither of those franchises have been relevant at all until very recently, with the Colorado Avalanche being in first place. And they've had some generational talent come through. I think at this point, what you have to do is understand that it's fun and games. I think if she's liking you for the things that you are about and the things that make you happy, then you gotta ride that out, man. I mean, just because you found a Red Wings jersey doesn't mean that she's an asshole. Now, she may be misguided, and you are too, by the way, because you should be liking the Penguins. That's just my personal opinion. But
I can't hate on the Avalanche. So that's one of my West teams. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're picking favoritism in this email to satisfy them, but you continuously shoot down Star Wars for me. So that's good, Josh. Again, so at this point, I gotta say, you gotta just ride it out, man. If you can't let 1997 go, then you don't need to get laid anymore. It's it's pretty simple. It's a hockey rivalry that isn't alive anymore. It's got to go, man. Just
okay.
You found a hot girl on Tinder that doesn't mind that you drink too much and you play video games and watch AEW. Just let it happen.
So, but let me flip the script a little bit on you two. So, if you're in this guy's scenario, you're doing some Tindering, and you find that she's a Tom Wilson fan, are you accepting it?
You've just negotiated the impossible. Nobody likes Tom Wilson.
Yeah, people on the Capitals team don't like him. I mean, I just don't know how am I supposed to like him any more than his teammates do.
And yeah, I'm still down with it because I'll just rub it in her face when we beat the Caps. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. I thought you were gonna say a Flyers fan, and I was gonna be like, "Oh, that means she's in the ECW. We're definitely gonna get along.
We're totally cool." Hammerstein Ballroom, baby.
That was my only hope. Was
R.I.P. Jack.
Sabu. So, just a quick comment from us, and I like to believe that I'm speaking for both Adam and Josh as well when I say this. Some of you guys gave us some pretty nice reviews and some 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and we can't thank you enough for that. We are also closing in on 500 downloads, which is something that, it is an achievement for smaller podcasts, and we never thought we would see that. So we don't get to do this without you guys listening to us. So we just want to thank you guys for tuning in and liking us and rating us and commenting on us and making fun of us. And just anything else. You guys are the reason why we do this. So we're having fun as long as you guys are having fun. So thank you so much. From the bottom of my little heart, I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to echo that, and a huge thank you for me. But I would also like to challenge you. Find your nerdiest of friends and have them follow, like, and subscribe to us. Yeah, and let's grow that. Let's grow this thing.
Pyramids.
I'm really glad to have you, and I'm sure, like me, you have similar friends that would love this. So, just spread it a little bit for us. Would really appreciate it.
Yeah, and like Josh said, we are not a Ponzi scheme. We don't ask you for money. Josh was trying to say we're a pyramid scheme. We are not. We don't ask you for money yet. But when we do, we will definitely be a Ponzi scheme. So speaking of Ponzi schemes, Adam, can you tell the great people out there what's on tap in the Jojitorium?
Bash Brew is not a Ponzi scheme either. We are just money laundering. God damn it. Anyway, so on the number one tap, we have the Jojidator Orange Blossom Honey Double IPA. Available on draft and in bottles.
So good.
Tab number 2, new this weekend, is the New Zealand Pilsner. It is a pale Pilsner coming in at 5.8%. It's a nice, light, crispy lawnmower beer. with some really tropical fruity hops. It's coming off really nice. Also available in bottles and on tap. On tap number 3, we have the Mom Jeans Mimosa Inspired Ale. You have a Brut Ale mixed with some orange juice to come up with this cocktail inspired beer. It's 6.8 on tap and in bottles. And finally, with I think maybe 2 bottles left, we have the Drunken Donut Jelly Donut IPA. And just a forecast into the future, we have a jalapeno pineapple triple IPA that should be ready coming into Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, we do.
And after that, coming into Father's Day weekend, early to mid-June, we will have Dad Shoes Lemon Shandy Blonde Ale coming out.
Which is one of my personal favorites. Being a dad, I can tell you that I was able to drink Dad Shoes last year while I mowed the grass, and it's exactly what it is marketed to be. It is a dad refresher, especially after you cut as much grass as I do. So when that comes out, you got to grab some.
That Dad Shoes should be coming in at about 5%. So it'll be a nice light crispy. And the triple, if it ferments as it has been, should be about 10.2%.
Let's go. I'll tell you, the lineup right now is killer. You've got a solid mix of a little bit of something for just about everybody.
Yeah, and if you want to find out what's happening in the Brew Lab, all you have to do is search out _brew on Facebook and Instagram. Do not forget to follow him on Untapped. He is on all social media, and if you want to order beer, all you have to do is just DM us, and we'll see what we can do to hook you up. Also, if you want to find out what's happening here at Decaying with the Boys, all you have to do is find us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at DecayingWTB. And also keep sending in your listener emails, questions, and comments, decayingwtb@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and share us. And also, you can support us by supporting the people who support us. So don't forget to check out anchor.fm as well as smoothmyballs.com/DWTB to get 15% off your entire order. And we do get a little piece of that. And I can tell you that if you help us out, we get to get more stuff into the Jojitorium, and we get to bring you some killer stuff. So help them, help us to help you. So
help them ladies out, guys.
Exactly. So until next time, from the boys to you, cheers.
Cheers.
Guys.